The 1980s and 1990s were a golden era in Hollywood. It was a time when beauty, glamour, and talent blended perfectly to create timeless stars. These women weren't just actresses, they were icons. Posters of them decorated bedroom walls, their movies became classics, and their faces were unforgettable. But as fame often does, the spotlight eventually dimmed. Some chose a quieter life, others were pushed aside by Hollywood politics, and some simply slipped away from memory. Today, we're remembering 10 forgotten Hollywood beauties of the 80s and 90s, women who once ruled the screen but have since faded into the past. Phoebe Cates. If you talk about 80s crushes, Phoebe Cates is always at the top. Her breakout role in Fast Times at Ridgemont High gave us one of the most iconic movie moments of the decade, the pool scene that defined teenage fantasies. Phoebe had a natural charm, the kind that didn't feel forced, and audiences fell instantly in love. But unlike many stars, she chose family over fame. By the mid-90s, she quietly stepped away from acting to focus on her personal life. Today, she runs a boutique in New York, far from Hollywood's bright lights. But for those who remember, Phoebe Cates will always be the ultimate 80s beauty. Bridget Fonda seemed destined for long-term stardom. In the 90s, she starred in Single White Female, Point of No Return, and Jackie Brown. She had range, beauty, and the kind of screen presence that made her stand out in every scene. But at the peak of her success, Bridget made a surprising decision. She walked away from Hollywood. Since 2002, she has never returned to acting. Instead, she chose a private life, away from the chaos of fame. For fans, her disappearance left a hole, because Bridget Fonda had all the ingredients to be one of Hollywood's biggest leading ladies. Kelly LeBrock. When Kelly LeBrock appeared in The Woman in Red and later in Weird Science, she instantly became one of the most desired women in the world. Her mix of confidence and sensuality made her an icon of 80s pop culture. She was bold, glamorous, and unforgettable. But by the 90s, Kelly's career slowed down. She appeared in fewer films and eventually stepped back from the spotlight. Though she's no longer the household name she once was, to anyone who grew up in the 80s, Kelly LeBrock will always be the dream girl who defined an era. Mira Sorvino. Mira Sorvino's rise to fame was nothing short of spectacular. In 1995, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in Mighty Aphrodite. Hollywood embraced her as the next big star. But behind the scenes, things weren't so glamorous. Mira later revealed how powerful figures in Hollywood, including Harvey Weinstein, deliberately destroyed her career. Despite her immense talent, major roles stopped coming her way. Today, Mira continues to act and remains deeply respected, but the stardom she was destined for in the 90s never fully returned. Alyssa Milano. Milano grew up in front of the world's eyes. As a child star in Who's the Boss, she became America's sweetheart. By the 90s, she was one of the most popular teen idols, appearing in magazines, posters, and countless TV shows. Her charm was undeniable, and her fan following was massive. But while she's still active in television and is known for her activism, her mainstream Hollywood stardom belongs to the past. For 90s kids, Alyssa Milano will always be remembered as the face of youthful beauty and charm. Jennifer Grey. Few actresses have left such a lasting mark with a single film as Jennifer Grey did with Dirty Dancing. Her chemistry with Patrick Swayze turned the film into a cultural phenomenon. The line, "Nobody puts baby in a corner," became part of movie history. But Jennifer's career took an unexpected turn after she underwent cosmetic surgery. The change in her appearance was so dramatic that even fans struggled to recognize her. This unfortunately led to a steep decline in roles and opportunities. Though she's worked on smaller projects since, Jennifer Grey's star burned brightest in the 80s. 7. Deborah Winger. In the 80s, Deborah Winger was considered one of Hollywood's finest actresses. With films like An Officer and a Gentleman and Terms of Endearment, she proved her incredible range and talent. She was nominated for multiple Oscars and could have ruled the industry for decades. But Deborah shocked everyone by stepping away from Hollywood at her peak. She later explained that she felt burned out by the industry and wanted a different life. Though she occasionally returned for select projects, she never chased fame again. Deborah Winger chose her own path and for fans, her absence left a void. Shannon Elizabeth. By the late 90s, Shannon Elizabeth was one of the hottest names in Hollywood. Her role in American Pie made her an overnight sensation. She became the ultimate crush for teenage audiences, and her career seemed unstoppable. But within just a few years, Shannon faded from the big screen. She shifted her focus to charity work, animal rights activism, and small appearances in TV and film. While her time in the spotlight was short, she remains unforgettable as one of the defining beauties of late 90s Hollywood. Geena Davis. Geena Davis wasn't just a beauty. She was also an actress with incredible talent and charisma. Her performances in Thelma and Louise and A League of Their Own cemented her as one of the most important stars of the 90s. She was bold, fearless, and brought powerful female characters to life at a time when Hollywood rarely gave women that space. But as she grew older, leading roles stopped coming her way, a sad reality for many actresses in the industry. Though she remains highly respected and still works in television, her glamorous Hollywood peak is now a cherished memory of the past. Winona Ryder. And finally, Winona Ryder, the ultimate it girl of the 90s. From Heathers to Edward Scissorhands to Reality Bites, Winona defined an entire generation of cinema. She was quirky, beautiful, and incredibly talented, making her one of the most beloved stars of her era. But in the early 2000s, a shoplifting scandal nearly destroyed her career. Hollywood turned its back on her, and Winona vanished for years. Thankfully, she made a strong comeback with Stranger Things, introducing herself to a whole new generation. Yet for many fans, Winona Ryder will forever be remembered as the mysterious, enchanting star of the 90s. And there you have it, 10 forgotten Hollywood beauties of the 80s and 90s. These women once ruled the big screen, defined style and culture, and became the faces of an unforgettable era. But as time moved on, so did Hollywood. Some walked away by choice, others were pushed aside, and some simply faded with time. Yet their legacy lives on, in the films, the memories, and in the hearts of fans who will never forget them. Because beauty may fade, but true impact lasts forever.